Who will be on the Dodgers NLDS roster? Who's on? Who's off? We've got some big questions to get into. Also, the Dodgers' new secret weapon might not be a secret anymore. Also, Dodgers president Andrew Friedman details the Dodgers' plan for the NLDS and beyond. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation, a credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you are new to the show, new to the channel, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, should Roki Sasaki be the Dodgers' permanent full-time closer? And right now, 76% of Dodgers fans say yes, while 24% of Dodgers fans say no. We'll get into that. We got some big takeaways. Going to do a quicker show today than tomorrow. We've got a massive Phillies preview. We have so much to get into from a roster standpoint. We have some guests on the show, but we are rocking and rolling. We are full-blown in postseason mode, and there's so much Dodgers baseball to get into. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so we'll hear from Dodgers president Andrew Friedman here in a couple moments, and we'll talk about the roster, big takeaways from the Guardians, the series against the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers went today, also the Cubs and the Padres. And the Padres, if they're not playing the Dodgers, are they disinterested? Because the Padres, the team that won the deadline, the team that won the July World Series because you went out there and you traded for Mason Miller, and yesterday Mason Miller threw 104 miles per hour on the corner. People were saying it was the best pitch in baseball history. You went out there, got Laureano. You went out there and you really felt like you won the deadline. The Padres won the deadline, but they couldn't even win a game in the postseason. Oh, the Padres are all in. The Padres are throwing in $100,000 blue chips. The Dodgers flipping in those $10 chips. The Padres are all in. The Padres, they gave up Legoland and SeaWorld and Gaslamp and Blink-182 and Tony Hawk, the Tony Gwynn statue. They gave up everything to go all in for the postseason, and what did that get them? That got them an early ticket to the offseason. For the DS, the Padres are going to be right next to you and I, watching on the couch. Actually, I'll be at the stadium, but watching on the couch for the rest of the postseason. Do you think the Padres like Cancun or Cabo better? Because that's where they're at. SD stands for season done. In the regular season, SD stood for second to the Dodgers. And after winning the trade deadline and going all in, hey, guys, if you go all in on a closer, you're guaranteed to go far in the postseason, right? Wrong. You can only close games, you can only get saves when you are leading, when you are up in games. And guess what? The Padres can't score. The Padres just could not manufacture offense when they needed to. That is usually how their seasons end. It happened during that 24-inning drought against the Dodgers last year, And this year, the Padres, they go out sad Diego. And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. I filled out one of those brackets. I did that because guess what? When the Dodgers face the Padres, it's good for business. It's good for the pockets. It's good for the ratings of Major League Baseball. It's good for the game. I want to see the Dodgers beat the Padres in the postseason again. Because when the Dodgers beat the Padres in the postseason, it usually leads to a World Series title. Like it did in 2020 when the Dodgers beat the Padres in the NLDS. Like last year when the Dodgers beat the Padres in the NLDS. These teams could have faced off in the NLCS, but it is not going to happen. The Dodgers still in it. Padres, they are going home to the loneliest trophy case in professional sports. And I'm disappointed. I'm mad. Please, Tatis. Please, Machado. Please, Arise. Please. I wanted the Padres in the NLCS. Great for baseball. Brings out the best in the Dodgers. I mean, we saw in the regular season, right? The 48-hour championship they had when they were in first place in the NLDS. Remember, it was Machado. Are there still any candles left in L.A., by the way? Are there any candles left in L.A. after Manny Machado said better light a candle if Fernando Tatis Jr. is injured? So let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest about one thing. When you think of the 2025 Padres, you're going to think of one thing. Robert Suarez hitting Shohei Ohtani. And when that is your lasting memory, what you'll be remembered for most, that is not a good thing. And that is what they will be remembered for. So, bye-bye San Diego. I'm disappointed because I filled out one of those brackets that had Dodgers, Padres, and I switched mine to Dodgers, Red Sox for the World Series. And I'm probably going to be wrong on that too. But I do know the Dodgers are going to face the Phillies in the NLDS, and that's what we're going to talk about. So welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live here, a little late afternoon show. I know my football fans, my Niner fans, my Rams fans, I know you guys, we've got a game to watch pretty soon here. So we're going to let you go pretty soon. But I want to come on here real quick to give you guys some content. I was up all night. I was getting drenched by Anthony Bonda throwing water down my back the way that he was doing. It was not fun, but actually it was a great time. And I'll talk about that more on tomorrow's show. But real quick, I want to give you guys some quick takeaways from the series. We're going to play some audio for you from Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman. Let's read some comments real quick. This is a live show. We got Mike Petty. Why can't Major League catcher catch the effing ball? We've got Dodgers versus Brewers in the NLCS from Robert Maxwell. Alex Renteria. Padres fans are crashing out. We've got... we are so lucky we didn't grow up as Padres fans, Psycho. I love that you point that out. Like, how many of you guys down below in the chat, like, no one chose to be Dodgers fans, right? Like, I didn't wake up one day and said, I'm going to be a Dodgers fan. I'm from here. I grew up here. We are, as the hat says, we are all mostly this. It's not like you chose. So, yeah, we were born into royalty. And it's pretty awesome to be a Dodgers fan right now. It absolutely is. D-Mac, relax. I wish we had Miller in our bullpen. Huh? Give me Roki over Mason Miller. His future for sure. All right, let's get into some quick takeaways here. We're going to talk about the bullpen, and that's where we start. And really, that's the number one concern for the Dodgers following their two-game sweep. By the way, the only team to sweep their wild card series. The bullpen's still a concern. There's no doubt about that. In the two games, the bullpen, they combined for 4 1/3 innings. You gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. They gave up 7 free passes. The Dodgers pen issued 7 walks in 4 1/3 innings. They just couldn't throw strikes. They could not throw strikes, and that was the big issue. And of the 25 batters that the Dodgers pen faced, 12 of those 25 reached base. We're talking about pitchers facing batters and those batters getting on base at an almost 50% clip. That is not going to get it done. You need better performance from that bullpen. And we're going to talk about some of these bullpen decisions they're going to have to make in a little bit. But the bullpen is the only thing that's going to get in the way of the Dodgers and another World Series title. The rotation, incredible. The offense exploded. It is that bullpen. And it wasn't everyone. I think Blake Trine had a good couple of games. It was the best Blake's looked at a while. Alex Vesia came in, got a couple big strikeouts. But I do like the development of Dave Roberts coming in and taking the ball from a reliever mid-at-bat. And that is the level of urgency that he's managing with. It's not, this is Don Mattingly era where Kersh is out there dying against the Cardinals. You don't have anyone up. And eventually you go to Pedro Baez, the game one of the 2013 NLDS, and he screws the pooch and is unable to get the job done. No, this is, hey, I'm going to be proactive. I looked in that Dodgers bullpen from the press box yesterday. At one point, everyone was up. I was about to go to that bullpen with Kenta Maeda and say, hey, let's stretch out. They might need us. I saw Roki stretching out. I saw Jack Dreyer stretching out. I saw Edgardo Henriquez getting up and getting loose. I saw everyone out there getting loose. Emmet Sheehan. I mean, everyone was an option. And it was really interesting to see the way that it did play out because he was removed on a 1-2 count in the at-bat. And the Reds, they countered by going Will Benson for Miguel Andujar, and he strikes out. So Vesia was actually credited with that strikeout on the pitching side, but Benson, he got credit as the hitter. So really interesting how that's calculated. But they still got the job done. But the bullpen, they need reinforcements, and they got one, and his name is Roki Sasaki. I've been trying to be as positive as I could for Roki this entire season. You guys know I'm the biggest Roki guy. This is the first Dodgers podcast to ever mention Roki Sasaki's name. We've been talking about him for years. And yes, I was sad. I was hurt that he did not have the year that we had hoped as a starting pitcher. An ERA close to 5. The strikeouts to walk ratio was just ridiculously bad. He wasn't throwing 100 again. And then all of a sudden he goes down to the minors on his rehab, just coming back with that shoulder impingement, and it's almost like, hey, Roki, like, we get it. You struggled this year, shoulders, injury, shoulder inflammation. You're adjusting. You're transitioning to the United States and Major League Baseball, a lot of pressure on you. But it's October, and we need you to step your game up. We need you to just be good. Can you do that for us? Can you step up? We need some bullpen help. Can you just do that? And it's like Roki woke up one day and said, screw it. I'm going to remember that I'm Roki Sasaki again. And what was so impressive about Roki yesterday was he goes out there and it's so efficient. 11 pitches to retire the side in order. He struck out the first 2 batters that he faced, and the third one was a weak little line out to Mookie Betts. The fastball hit 101 miles per hour. The splitter looked nasty, filthy, cheat code, unhittable type stuff. He looks like an absolute animal out there. And just talking to people today about some of the differences with Roki Sasaki, they mentioned that you're noticing him throw 100, 101 again, and a big reason why the arm angle has dropped. In the early rehab outings when he was still throwing 95 and 96 and the velocity wasn't good, the command wasn't good, he was hitting batters, walking guys, giving up hits, the arm angle was at 48 degrees. That's now down to 40 to 41 degrees. And with the lower slot on the arm angle, you're seeing the mechanics are smoother, they're more refined, it's not as clunky as it looked, and he is exploding off that mound once again. It's just all downhill, downward force, and he looks like a new man. I mean, he's not clunky. You just see how quick he is with that front leg and that dramatic leg kick, and he's just getting down to the mound, and that conviction is there. The confidence and conviction is there. You saw Yamamoto clapping. You saw Ohtani clapping. The stuff's unhittable. The splitter's ridiculous. And I expect him to get massive outs. I told you the night before, because of what I was hearing was they want Roki in the ninth. So I went out there and I predicted that Roki Sasaki was going to get those final 3 outs. Sure enough, I was right, because they believe in the stuff. The stuff speaks for itself. I mean, who out there has better stuff in that bullpen than Roki Sasaki right now? Who's got better stuff than Roki? No one. Absolutely no one. Maybe Shohei Ohtani. But if we're talking about a one-inning thing, just a pure one-inning, empty the tank, outside of probably Shohei, it's Roki. But Roki has the most unique pitch of everyone with that splitter. So here was Dave Roberts after the game talking about Roki Sasaki when he was asked, is Roki Sasaki the new Dodgers closer? Is Roki Sasaki the new Dodgers closer? Here was what Dave Roberts had to say.
For you guys, from the way the game started with Teo's drop ball to having to kind of rally and push Yamamoto's, especially as you look at.
I trust him, and he's going to be pitching in leverage. So that was, the more you pitch guys and play guys, you learn more. So like I said about Yamamoto, I don't think the moment's going to be too big for Roki.
My man is downright giddy, and he's not going to commit to him being a full-time closer because you never want to just lock that down 100%. Could Roki end up getting 5+ saves? I think he is. I think absolutely he's going to get 5 or more saves just because I think they like the fact that, hey, you deal with some leverage situations earlier than that. If you're this Dodgers starting rotation, you go 7 innings, hopefully 8 with another guy, maybe a glass now during certain spots. Blake trying in some certain spots. Alex Vesia, you got some lanes for those guys. But I think they like the fact that you got a push-button closer because he's so dominant. And I do expect him to the lion's share of the leverage moment. So think about this. Yes, the bullpen, it's so interesting to think about. Yes, the bullpen was bad. And I said it yesterday. Can we just eliminate the 8th inning from baseball games? Go right from the 7th inning stretch to the 9th inning, and that's the game. Because the 8th inning was the bugaboo where Dodgers relievers just could not throw strikes. If you were on a dunk tank during these 8th innings, you'd be pretty dry right now because Dodgers starters could not throw strikes. I mean, Dodgers relievers could not throw strikes to save their lives. But having said that, for as bad as the bullpen has been throughout the season and some of the questions about it now, you should be feeling better than ever. The best development you could have gotten from the performance of the bullpen was Roki Sasaki looking like the real deal. I will take Roki Sasaki pitching like he is if it means Edgardo Enriquez and Jack Dreyer having some moments, Alex Vesia having some moments in what were really low leverage situations that they weren't typically used to. And it's different. When you're a high leverage reliever, you come out of a low leverage situation, you don't have that same level of adrenaline, that same level of intent and conviction. And look, you still have to come up and do your job, and they did not do their jobs. And I do think that there are going to be some consequences when it comes to roster construction because of it. But for everyone down the bullpen, I'm up on the bullpen. I'm high as a kite on the bullpen because of Roki Sasaki and the starting pitching. You are going to get length from starters, and you're going to get it to Roki Sasaki. You got to find a couple hot arms in between, but I'm feeling really, really, really confident about the performance of Roki Sasaki, and I could not be more excited. But let's listen to Andrew Friedman. Yesterday, I'm telling you, man, I feel like my whole body did a shoey yesterday. But after the locker room celebration, Andrew Friedman, he was in the hallway, and he spoke to reporters, and he also answered some questions about Roki Sasaki and some other questions the Dodgers are going to have to answer for the NLDS and for the rest of the postseason.
Gus was doing so fun. We were able to get him in at the end of the regular season, and he said he felt great. He was able to get ready, rebounded from it well, and he was a man pitching with a lot of confidence.
Could you imagine even months ago that he would be in a spot where he's anywhere, even near the postseason roster, let alone closing out a series for you?
I don't remember exactly when the delivery stuff clicked. Before that, no. After that, yes.
Is he your closer now?
He's going to get important outs for us. I don't know what.
Can he go back to the guy who hasn't done?
We don't know yet. We used him 2 out of 3, and he rebounded from that well. Beyond that, we don't know yet.
How much do you need him?
I think he's really helpful. He's really talented. He can get out righties and lefties, so obviously he's really helpful.
Can one outing sort of help with bullpen as a whole kind of get on a run?
I think so. I mean, we've talked about this. I don't think our bullpen struggles are talent related. It's execution. We see it with walking guys and getting behind in counts, which to me comes from confidence. So we have to figure out a way to spark that. And if Roki's outing tonight is that spark, it wouldn't surprise me.
Him leading by example, kind of get everyone on the attack.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's about pitching with confidence, trusting the scouting report, and executing pitches. And if that happens, I will bet on our guys. If we're trying to be too fine and afraid of mistakes, and we're out of zone and starting counts 2-0, then I won't bet on them.
Obviously, he showed up here with kind of a little band of support staff. How much more open, I guess, has he been to taking instruction from you guys as opposed to maybe just kind of leaning on what he already knew?
Yeah, I mean, I think like any new player that you acquire, it takes a little while to build up trust. And we didn't try to push it too early. We knew that he was a guy that was accustomed to doing things a certain way, and we were going to embrace that. At the same time, forging a relationship and building trust and getting to a place where we could partner together, but not pushing it prematurely.
What kind of stuff is he doing now that maybe he wasn't doing earlier?
I mean, his delivery had gotten out of whack, a compensation for the oblique injury, and then obviously it led to some shoulder soreness. And so just getting him feeling right and then syncing up his body again was really important. And he was all in, obviously, on doing that. It's just how to get from A to B. And Connor McGinnis, Mark Pryor, Rob Hill have done an unbelievable job with him, and the way he worked coming back, made for a really devastating combo in terms of getting him back to the point of what we saw tonight.
It could be just my imagination. I do see a lot of things that aren't actually happening, but he does seem a little more solid physically. Has he been in the weight room a little more? Have you guys emphasized that at all to him?
That he's been basically all year. He's got a really good routine with Travis Smith, and the time he missed actually allowed him to take on even more load, not having to recover to pitch. And so, he's definitely gotten more physical, which obviously helps.
When did the oblique happen?
In Japan. You got to stay up on it.
You never mentioned it before.
Well, it was when he was not on our team.
Oh, okay. When you say Japan, I'm thinking Tokyo.
No.
The back-to-back walk-off losses in Baltimore. Since then, you're 17-5. What changed?
I don't remember those games in Baltimore.
I can remind you very easily if you'd like.
I'm good.
You don't want to relive them?
I'm good.
What changed after that? Why 17-5?
We're a really good team. So for us to rattle off 17 out of 22 is not surprising. Our offense, our rotation, and again, it's been a couple guys in the pen who over a certain period of time, which by the way, at the same time, we've been breaking in a new catcher, which adds challenges. He's not familiar with our guys. We have setups and things that are different, and it's a different visual for the pitcher. So, I mean, we had some challenges from a health perspective, especially as it relates to a new catcher learning a lot of new pitchers. And so we're getting better at that. But usually you have all of spring training to work through that. We didn't have that in this instance. And so it made for some complications, but we're getting through it.
How do you feel about how the rotation set up for the division series with Shohei going in game one?
Just feel really good about our rotation. I think you could argue whatever order you want. I think they're all really talented. I know that Show will revel being in that environment. And pitching in game one. And, again, I think we have a really talented rotation. I think it's going to be a strength for us as we go forward.
He is game one starter.
Well, she just told me that.
Yeah.
I think Dave
You're
said
confirming it.
Well,
Dave
I was.
said it.
I'm not
I'm
asking
parroting.
Sonia.
Sonia said it. So Sonia said.
Andrew, when you guys face the Padres, people thought that's the toughest one to win a World Series. When you saw Phillies a couple weeks ago, did you think, hey, to get where we want to go, we got to get past these guys?
I mean, I think every team you play in October, it's hard. There's a lot of things that happen in the course of a game, in the course of a series. So, I mean, we put our head down and focus on whoever we're playing. Philly's obviously a really good team. They got to sit back and watch us play these two games because they earned a bye. So obviously they're a really good team, and look forward to the matchup.
Shohei already went kind of deeper than you thought he would in the regular season by going 6 innings. Do you see him potentially pushing things more if he's in a good spot?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's a normal starting pitcher now. Kind of eased him along. He's just a normal starting pitcher.
And what is the state of Friedman?
He's doing okay. I mean, he's battling. He's got some soreness, but had a homer with it. Went out in short center and caught a fly ball. He's a gamer and will do whatever it takes to help us win. And it was good to be able to get him a couple off days now. I think it will be really helpful going into Saturday.
So the biggest thing from that is Andrew saying that Shohei is a normal pitcher now. So that doesn't mean he's locked into just going 6 innings if he's efficient. Maybe they do push him an extra inning and have him go 7. Now, as far as the Dodgers starting rotation in the NLDS against the Phillies, I think the interesting question is, we know Shohei Ohtani is going game 1. That was the obvious choice. We knew that. The question is, who do you go with in game 2? And how much of that is dependent on the result of game 1? Because if you look at the schedule, game 1 is Saturday, October 4th. It's either going to be at 3:08 or 3:38 Pacific time on TBS, depending on the result of the Yankees-Red Sox series. But game 2 is on Monday, so you got a day off on Sunday. And then the Monday game, we don't know the time yet. It's still TBA, but we do know it's Monday. And then there's a day off after Monday, and you have games 3, 4, and 5, where you got 8 and 9, August 8th, October 8th, and October 9th. So it's Wednesday and Thursday. So it's Saturday, day off, Monday, day off, travel to LA, games 3 and 4, Wednesday, October 8th, Thursday, October 9th in Los Angeles. And if necessary, game 5 will be on Saturday in Philadelphia. So the way that schedule lines up, you are going to have Shohei Ohtani in game 1. You could have Blake Snell for game 2 with the day off, regular rest. Or if you do win game 1 with Shohei Ohtani in the mound, you're up 1-0 in that series. Do you go Tyler Glass now in game 2, who is an ace caliber pitcher? And then you have Snell and Yamamoto lined up for the 2 games in Los Angeles that you would need to close it out. That is going to be the interesting thought. I do think with the performance of the bullpen, especially with Emmet Sheehan, who was supposed to be this massive piece, and he still has the potential to be, but after his performance against the Reds, do you want to lean on Tyler Glasnow more as a reliever, or do you want to use him as a starter? So that's going to be something that you are going to have to consider. As far as some of the other roster questions right now, we know the infield, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas. The catcher is a big question. Is Will Smith healthy and ready to go to catch, or is he going to be on the roster, see how he feels, use him as a pinch hit possibility? If that's the case, do you carry the 3 catchers with Smith, Rushing, and Rortvedt to have Rushing as the backup behind Rortvedt? Or if you expect Will Smith to catch, because here's the thing, to get his bat in the lineup, he's got to catch because he can't be a DH because of Shohei Ohtani. I mean, would Shohei Ohtani play the outfield and let him DH? I don't think that's the case, because you need your outfielders too, because those are very important, a part of your group too, with Kike and Edman and Pajes and Teo. So for Will Smith to be in the bat consistently, from to be in the lineup with his bat consistently, he's got to catch. So having a third catcher gives you some flexibility. I think ideally Will Smith is healthy, and you keep Will Smith and Ben Rortvedt. And Ben Rortvedt, he could be used off the bench as a pinch hitter, but also he could be used as a late game catcher situation, possibly if you want to take Will Smith out of the game if the Dodgers are leading, or in the event that Will Smith starts but then has a setback, and then Ben Rortvedt is a guy you plug in there. So that's kind of the conversation there. Will Smith as a pinch hitter who's been great off the bench in that role, in those opportunities, I think definitely makes sense. But Rushing is another guy that can slug as a left-handed bat off the bench. So he's a left-handed bench option with slugging potential you have to consider as well. Andy Paz, Teo, and Alex Call, I think, are going to be on the roster for the outfield. I do not expect to see Justin Dean. We saw the play in game 1 of the wild card round where Gavin Lux at the plate, and and you got Justin Dean in the outfield, and there was a play where Justin Dean is diving for a ball that he didn't need to dive for, and it goes off the heel of his glove. It almost gave me shades of James Outman, the 2023 NLDS, who was a well-graded out defender, and then unfortunately just the moment got a little too big for him, and I think the moment got a little too big for Justin Dean right there. So I don't expect to see him on the roster just because you got to put more of a premium on pitchers as well. And then Hae-Sung Kim, I think, is a pinch runner. I talked to Hae-Sung Kim yesterday pretty extensively, and he's excited to be a part of this team and help any way he can. We're going to do deeper dives on this for sure tomorrow, but these are just some early thoughts on the roster. Going to try to hear everything I can hear tonight to try to give you guys the most thorough read on where the roster situation is. We know the starters is Shohei, Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow. The big question is going to be the relievers. Blake Trinan's a lock. Roki Sasaki's a lock. Alex Vesia's a lock. Emmet Sheehan, I think, still is a lock. Dave said for sure that he still believes in him. Tanner Scott, I think you have to still say is a lock. Justin Robleski, I hope, is a lock. He's the guy I think he should have been the first out of the pen on the first game of the series on Tuesday. Clayton Kershaw, we know is going to be on the roster most likely. I think the guys that are left off, you're looking at Edgardo Henriquez with some of the issues that he's had. I would prefer to see Ben Kasparius on the roster to get out right-handed hitters. And this is a group where you got some big lefties in Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, and I think one guy I want to see on the roster is Anthony Banda. Anthony Banda, not just because he showered me with, he showered me yesterday with all kinds of beer and champagne and whatever. I just think that he's been really good this year. Some of the high leverage stuff, giving up hits in high leverage situations is there, but this is a guy who get one run, 8 1/3 innings last year in the postseason. He steps up when it matters most. So I would love to see Anthony Banda back on the roster. And the mood that he was in such a great mood yesterday. You have to believe that he expects to be on the roster. Just vibes-wise, of course, I'm sure he's a great team guy, but the way he was acting, it did feel like he was roster-bound and for Philly. So we're going to get deeper into some of the other topics tomorrow on the roster, but I think right now from the relievers, Blake Trinan, Roki Sasaki, Alex Vesia, the new entries that I want to see, Anthony Banda, Ben Kasparius, Emmet Sheehan, Tanner Scott, Justin Robleski, and Clayton Kershaw. And then Will Klein, he's not optioned until the NLCS unless you got an injured pitcher, and I don't expect him to be there because I don't expect any injuries. So I think that's where you're looking at. I think that right now is kind of what my gut tells me. But, all right, guys, do some comments. I actually have to run, and we'll do a long 1-hour episode yet tomorrow. I know you guys got to go, you got the Yankees, the Red Sox, you got the Rams, 49ers, and for myself, I was thinking, man, should I take the day off? Been doing shows for like 30 straight days, who knows? But you know what? I got to give you guys content because you guys, I just can't live without doing this show. You guys are the best in the game. But we got now whenever D-Max sees Banda, NS, hilarious. Phillies bullpen is a joke, but Mike Petty already knows that. Yellow Bear, they'll make the right choice. Vesia stinks, can't throw strikes. Jason Diamond, he had a couple big strikeouts yesterday, and he really has been their best, most durable left-handed reliever this year. Say no to Robleski. Why? I think Robleski's good. Padres, 2025 deadline champs. Yep, their so-called closers, Shohei and Paz, have taken them deep. How about the Yamamoto song? I'll bring that back tomorrow. How about that? Thank you for your great content. Thank you, J.Y. Kim. But all right, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button, comment. We got a new show coming on a new channel. So a little tease there. That's going to have a lot of new Dodgers stuff and breakdowns and things like that. So stay tuned for the info. Got some surprises coming for you in the next couple of days and weeks. And comment CK3K, Clayton Kershaw bobblehead 3000. We're going to be giving that away. And, follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Enjoy the rest of the games. Enjoy this no stress watch. There's nothing better than when your team has won and you're just in pure enjoy mode. You're just in pure okay, we're sitting back. We're in the clubhouse. We're watching the rest of these guys play extra baseball because we took care of business. And when I say we, of course, I mean the Dodgers. I don't play for the team, but it'd be nice if I did. But that's going to do it, guys. See you guys tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live, a jam-packed mega preview of the NLDS. We'll give you some more roster questions, stuff that I'm hearing, and we'll rejoin tomorrow. So enjoy your night. See you guys tomorrow. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And if you want to support every single episode, help us grow, more giveaways, more content, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.